Right, dudes, what's happening? Okay, today, so we're going to have a quick look at setting up a basic bit of collision, just to give my floor something substantial to stand on, and then have a go at getting the environment back into the Unreal Engine and start replacing some of the previous geometry that's there. We will first of all turn off all of the other bits that I've already done. Just keep the floor visible. At the moment, where's my floor? Let's have a look from top view. Getting to select that. Everything's joined together there. So we're going to split those components up slightly. Where's my split there? I've lost a line. There we go. Faces. We've got a face. Is that one face? Yeah, that was one face, and that's one face. Oh, there we go. That's better. It's all okay. We will. Let's have these ones. And I think I will separate that off into mesh split. Did that go? Why is it not working? What have I forgotten? Split of selected geometry from connected unselected geometry. It's not working. No one in that one. Mesh split. God damn you! They're all dead, Dave. Dave, they're all dead. Everybody's dead, Dave. I've missed something obvious. Oh, they did split. What a tip. It's me not paying attention. So now we have to back into object mode. So it's one object, split item. This is why I got confused. So many keys, we can see what we're doing as well. Always forget that one. So I should have. Faces. It's because I didn't take those with me. You can tell I'm learning on the go. We will join those and 1, 2. Separate. There we go. Separate selection. Separate selection. Got it. Right click menu, not split menu. That's what I wanted. So we can now have one object, two objects. You can tell this is rehearsed, can't you? Let's have grab these faces. We'll make this an object on its own. Have that one there. We won't have that one there. We want that one. Then we'll right click, separate selection. Okay, it's going, that's better. So that section will be, so it's no longer UE4, so that'll be floor north. This one will be floor east. Okay. We'll leave all of that as one object. So that one can be floor, no spaces, floor west. And that one will then be floor arcade. I should have called it static mesh because that's what it is. SM underscore. So for naming conventions, when it goes into Unreal Engine, it should retain these. So it's good, like cool. Materials begin with an M, textures begin with a T, static meshes begin with SM. That is doorstop. I should join those together. No, not that one. That one. Standard distance. Join. So that'd be static mesh underscore floor doorway. I might join those in with something later and just give them a different material by face, but that'll do for now. That is tempted to get rid of that scenery and have a proper ground, but we'll leave it there for now. Scenery 1, that'll do. And then could be floor. See, no one's reminding me, are they? Scenery 2. So we've got our floor segments named all there. What I want to do, just to get some collision for the floor, so rather than attaching collision to each individual item or making each item collidable, little thing I learned from Frankie V was to create a box under the map, and then all collision will then be joined to that. So we are going to create a folder for collision. Did I want that under there? I didn't want that under there. I wanted it under here. Collision. I think I'll spell that right. So under collision, we're going to add just a basic cube, like cubes. It's a large cube. We can change the size of that cube. Item, make it a 1 meter square. We'll make it non-renderable when we take it over into what's the new job? Unreal Engine. Stick it right there, put the Z, and we flip it round on these. Get rid of that. Have a look at that. Where's my cube? What am I not seeing? I have gone mad. Why can't I see the cube? Delete cube. Cube delete. Everything's transparent. Cube is somewhere else. Cube will move. Cube's in edit mode. Cube. Attach cube. Delete cube. Delete cube. Get rid of that. get rid of done. We want to. Why have I stuck that over there? We want object mode, add mesh cube. There's cube. We have cube. Cube is central. Cube is going under map. And when we show everything that's done, cube is nicely under map. Cube doesn't need to be that far under map. So what we're going to attach to the cube is now the what's going to be the collision. So we'll add a plane, not an aeroplane, or any other kind of plane, just a flat plane. And we will scale the plane. We wanted to grid snap the plane in scale. Could probably just size it manually, probably would have been just as easy. To move. Excuse the bash. I need a bigger screen. So where's map? I'll tell you what, I'm going to line it up here with the edge of there. So we grab that, chunk that there. Size wise, then grid will be 32. 32. 34. So on X20, X20. Actually, there's nothing going out that far, is there? We got the rest of these things. That's signs, blocks, containers going out there. Containers in the side. No, I don't. So we'll go 20 by, what do we reckon, 30, 25, 24. Do me. Grab that, stick that on the edge there. We've got a little bit of collision that goes outside, but that's fine. So that will be, so the cube will be, we want to call that, it's a static mesh, but it's a placeholder. Placeholders, what we're calling placeholders. I might need to rename this later, but we'll call that collision base. So that will be UCX underscore collision. It's called collision. Collision do I want? Let's call that collision. I'll do. Collision. We want to make sure we've got that in line with the ground, so that's too high. There's the other one. Oh yeah, so that was... Could have probably lifted it up to be level with the ground plane actually. I think that's what I might do. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Everything's going to come up 6 blocks. And that puts my floor. Let's leave it where it is. Just come down 6 blocks. Grab 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. That's in the right place. And then we will shift and duplicate that, which now needs to be a lot narrower. So on the X plane we go, what do we reckon? 16? No. 12? 12 is going to be about right. And lengthwise it needs to be more. So we've got 24, 25, 26. 26, that should fill nicely. And then from that we will, which side we want to take it on. This one, grab across 2. So hopefully that's lined up, yeah, with the front of the building there. It's covered down the bottom, so collision is sufficient. Yeah. So we have 1 collision, 2 collisions. Oh, 0, 0 and 1. Then we'll have 1 more collision for the outside over here. So we'll just grab this one, duplicate that again. It's almost the right size. So for this we want to go 1, 2, 3, 4 meters longer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's 9 meters more in the Y. So it's going to be 33. And nothing that comes out that far because we have the gate. So I could actually bring that back in on the X by down to 15. We'll just come and line that up down at the bottom here. Let's grab that. So where does that leave us? Perfect. Almost a mundo. Come too far with the other one. Let's grab that. Put it back. There. So that's because. So if we get rid of the floor for now, that's our collision. It's different heights. Different heights. Needs to be floor 4 below ground level. So it's gone downwards because I snapped it without zooming in. 1, 2, 3, 4. And finally, wasn't expecting to take this long before I imported it into Unreal Engine, but there's always something that crops up. Right, there we go. It's all now in the same place, on the same plane. It's been named correctly, UCX collision 0, 1 and 2. So as we build up the rest of the map, we'll add to our collision. So that's obviously clashing on the Z plane with the other items, but that doesn't matter because it will be invisible. What else do I need to remember? Collisions there, collisions joined. everything that's done we can see it again, because we want all of this to go back into Unreal. See what that would do. What that's causing the screen to fight, so let's just save that and just stop the video in case it crashes when I start trying to import things. Right. Now, it's quite a long first bit of video there, 20 minutes or so, but I've just been away practicing, so it caught me out with a collision, so I've deleted the first couple of records of that video. What I did with the collision, it wasn't working when I took it over into Unreal. The reason being, I'll zoom in over here. When you set the UCX collision up, as you duplicate it, Blender automatically increments 0.001, 0.002 and so on. That won't be recognised in Unreal Engine, so that it gets packed into the FBX file. It doesn't come out as a static mesh because it's got UCX, but it doesn't get recognised as collision because the suffix is wrong. So you actually have to change it to an underscore. I haven't figured out how to get Blender to default to using an underscore rather than a full stop. So this time we should be working. So now we're going to just select all of the bits we've modified. Select objects, select the collision objects, and export. The other thing I've done, that's what I didn't do. So excuse me, I just want to, because I've just created these items, where's my N? I've scaled them, so the scales are off and the dimensions, so the location is off relative to the 0 point. So I'm just gonna grab all of those and reset the location, rotation and scale. So just reset everything. So that just sets, although where they are positional wise, their 0 point is actually 0, 0, 0. So when I take them into the Unreal editor, they'll in the correct position relative to 0 there. Right, so that's everything selected. File, export, FBX. I'm just calling up my presets again just because it's quicker than having to tick through all of these and turn them off. We're going to call this static mesh underscore is, and that will then get suffixed with the various file names. Export that. I'm going to just save this before I go. Now I've got everything set up again, and into Unreal. So I've got a separate sub level with all of my first little blocks on. Actually, while I'm here, before I forget, I'll add a on the folder. I need to add a new level. There we go. Create new. Don't want a new level, new sub level. My blend is going. No. I'll come back to that. I was just going to create a new level for lighting, but my brain is going to mush today. Let's get rid of that one. We want to drop this into meshes, so I've got the existing meshes under. So I can change it. Reference objects, blocks, so they're all in there for now. So the reference objects will obviously get deleted, but we'll use them for comparison for now. So meshes, import Um, static meshes. Open. So we don't want to generate collision because we've created our own. Don't want to combine the meshes, so that's all not scaling anything, so the standard settings are fine for that. So that will bring everything in. Run out of tea. Can't work with a nice cuppa. Bad geometry, that's fine, we'll clean that up later. So we can see down the bottom here, it's brought in, so it's named the files with the FBX file name, then underscore, and the name of the components. That's why I tried to keep the FBX file name short. It's just compiling all the shaders at the moment for the text that it's bringing in. So while it's doing that, it's coming into the persistent level. I'm just going to pause the video while those shaders finish compiling, then we'll pull all of those in. Save a bit of processing power. It's about 5 minutes past, I think, down there. So we've got the shaders in. So collision primitives, there was 0 in orange. Thankfully, it's now worked. Collision prims 3. So we should have some collision. That's what we like. Right, so we want to filter for static meshes. Grab all of those, drop them in the world. Yes, and that is outside of bounds. Just wait for that to align itself. There we go. And then we're going to stick all of those at 0, 0, 0. And that puts them relative to the 0, X, Y, and Z positions that we set up. And while they're all selected, I'm just going to stick them in a subfolder, which we'll call, what do we want to call that? Well, the old one's called blocks, so we just call it import meshes. That's original. That there we go. Go on, just jump in and save it while I'm in the middle of recording. Why don't you? Gordon Bennett. There we go. So that's the new and the old over the top of each other, so you can see some slight differences as the. Let's just pull it in a bit closer. So you'll see where things have been aligned to the grid. As I bring the old blocks into the doors in a slightly different place. Floor slightly changed, but generally everything's roughly in the same position. And we should have, fingers crossed, collision on the floor. So if I just let's get over there, close that up, get this out of the way. And for now, we're going to launch the current position of the camera. Now someone said to me, you can't have collision on a flat plane. It has to have a box. So I'm thinking maybe that's what's happened. So I'll probably have to go back and re-import that collision. Let's grab that. What do we want to do? We want to edit the mesh down there. Let's open that. Blueprint editor. Brain's gone. I'm going blind. I'm going blind. My blueprint button. There we go. Don't need it. It's here. So we've got our elements, collision elements there. 3. Project default, block all, which is what we want. Customize collision. So we want, so let's get rid of it. Yeah, that's fine. So I'm going to need to dip back out, because that's not going to have collision on it because it's just a box. In theory, anything else in there should have collision. I'm going to go straight through the floor again. Yeah. Right, totally unplanned. So let's get Blender fired up again quickly. File, open, arcade, screen keys on. Let's grab, let's turn all of that off. Oops, don't move that. We want to jump down to there. Let's have a look underneath. Go to edit mode, grab a face, look at the side, zoom in. A bit of audio commentary there. And we'll just extrude a box. Make it 40 thick, that won't hurt. And I need to do the same with the other one. Centralize on that. Have a look underneath. Edit mode. Grab the bottom face. Jump in from the side. Extrude. Block that. And last one. Look over there. Edit mode. Grab a face from the side. Extrude. Right. This is, so we have our 3 blocks now. Correctly named. Being picked up. So if we then turn that back on, select those objects, select these objects. Oops. See if we're feeling lucky. Save all that. Re-export that. Get the right name. Get the right preset. That's gone. Yeah. Okay, so actually let's just check while I'm here. Getting used to different button presses again, going between different editors is a bit of a confusing one. So we'll change there, have a look at player collision. Yes, I've got nothing with collision at the moment. Didn't bring the collision in. So if I can re-import that, there we go. So you can't use a plane for collision, you have to use a box. So I could have probably got away with something that was a centimetre thick. But okay, that's solved the problem, that's good, I'm happy now. That's why I went wrong last time. So we can turn back on player collision, lighting collision only. Right, unlit. So let's start myself off down here. jump into game. We have a floor and we can shoot on. Right, so we have walls we can run through. I've only put collision on the floor for now, just to see what's around. Fence is back to front. The arcade machines will be in here. So we're getting light in the floor there because that mesh is single-sided, so the light's actually coming through from the roof. So what we'll have to do is make that double-sided or put another block above that. So we'll just go through the walls at the moment, but you can see that everything's generally actually lined up quite well. No leakages. There's a couple of little gaps that actually intentional gaps are made between the door because hopefully we'll get a bit of light leaking through those like you would do in real doors. Again, there should be very slight gaps behind that. Yep, there we go. Then this will be where the containers live. There's no collision over there, so I'm not going to run over onto that bit. Yeah. Okay. So make a mess of the walls. Right, I think that's probably it for now then, guys. We have, that's our pipeline set up between Blender and Unreal Engine now, so I think obviously what I can then do is go back, edit and just re-import individual meshes as I work on them. So I think what I'm probably going to do is have a play with the floor first of all, because it's all fairly constant. Maybe get a material on the floor and then start from the inside out, so the most important buildings. So I'll start with the arcade because that's central to the game, and just add in some extra detail. Once I've got the mesh redetailed, then we'll start looking at unwrapping it and sorting out the textures. So, okay, it's me done for a Friday evening. There we go, pretty. Still looks good even though it's in pieces. Bonjour.